This is the S&P 500 one-month overview reading for November 2022. It's currently October 7th, 2022, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. The overall theme and behavior for the month of November is an attempt to establish or reestablish support. It's crossed with sideways rotation along support, increasing with bullish momentum as we move forward in time. And what appears to be an important crest or high on a multi-day chart, probably on a year-to-date chart. But it looks like that high actually takes place in December, and the bullish momentum probably comes into effect in December, from what I'm seeing here. Behavior around the high. I'm advised to I'm advised to cash in on any long positions at the high for the month, and behavior around the low for the month. I see a failed attempt to break through key resistance that we're expecting to break through, followed by a decline through key support level, and this is on the scale of a 1-month chart. A decline through that key support level. We have a fake out on the first. An intentional fake out or shakeout or misdirection behavior in the market, and it's designed to shake out retail investors before a crest, so probably to the downside, making us think we're going down, shaking out long investors. And then on the second, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through horizontal resistance to meet a secondary resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. We also have our first month's higher crest. Looks like we probably have a higher one on the third, in the midst of a move higher through resistance. We stay above that level briefly, creating a high, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter that. On the fourth, in the midst of a rally, there's an opportunity to position oneself for a sharp drop. Over the weekend, it looks like there's a pretty sharp drop, and then in the midst of a decline, probably early in the day on the 7th, there's an opportunity to position oneself on the long side of things. On the 8th, looks like we probably have, towards the end of the 7th, or early on the 8th, looks like we probably have a month's high or a very prominent crest here after a very big move to the upside on the 8th. And then there looks to be some price swings there with probably a prominent low or trough there on the 9th or on the 10th, probably on the 9th. On the 10th, we have the halting of a bullish trend. Yeah, okay, so on the 9th, there's a sharp drop, the halting of a bullish trend towards the end of the day on the 9th, and a big breakdown there through a key support level on a 1-month chart scale. I'm advised to buy protection. I'm advised to buy protection on the 10th, so it looks like we probably open up a bit higher on the 10th. There's a brief high there on the 10th before a notable decline, or brief high there maybe on the 10th or the 11th before a notable, probably on the 11th actually, before a notable decline. The 10th or the 11th. There's also a speech that comes out. When the speech, I'm advised to open up protection prior to the speech. The speech is going to be misleading. It's intentional an intentional deception. So be advised of that. Whatever this speech, this auditory like word that's important is, it'll be important. We'll know by the time we get to November, it'll stand out. On the 11th, we sell from a crest, from a near overbought crest down to, and it looks like over the weekend through to a deeper low on the 14th. We attempt to establish support on the 14th. We also attempt to establish support on the 1st. I left that out. And we attempt to establish support on the 14th. There's the completion of a bullish trend towards the end of the day on the 15th, and then on the 16th we have a move higher through resistance, followed by and we stay above that resistance briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter. There's a cash out opportunity there towards the end of the day, and then we have probably another month's low or a very prominent trough here on the 17th. On the 18th, there's a prominent reversal, and we have a notable move higher out of that reversal also picking up on an economic leader or a male leader speaking on economics, one of the two, somewhere around like the 17th through the 21st. So it may actually have something to do with the 10th. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Male ruler highlighted around the low. And there we go on the 11th in the morning. We see him again. So probably overnight on the... Oh, and then we have a big drop over the weekend of the 11th, guys. So there's a speech that comes out overnight, or something is spoken overnight, some sort of news that's spoken overnight. I'm advised to buy protection during the day on the 10th prior to this sharp decline over the weekend. The news comes out overnight after the market closes on the 10th. Sharp decline on the 14th, or gap down on the 14th. With a sharp decline towards the end of the day, an attempt to establish support on the 14th as well. And then on the 15th, a bullish trend comes to a completion near a prominent crest or high again. Remember, we're doing sideways rotation along support, attempting to establish support throughout most of the month here. Although the Prince of Discs in some cases is bearish, it's more of like a sideways rotation along like a trend to lower, so kind of like a slower thing that could be happening. As a matter of fact, it may be happening. Based on what I'm seeing here on the 16th, we have a move higher through resistance. We stay above that resistance briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level. There's a cash out opportunity near that resistance when we're above that resistance. And then we have a month's prominent trough, or very possibly a month's low here on the 17th. A prominent reversal would stand out on a 1 day or on a 1 month chart on the 18th, and a big move out towards the middle part of the day on the 18th. A big move higher, pushing the upper end of a range. Looks like a trough on the 21st early in the morning, and we move higher even in the face of some seriously negative headwinds. There's an important price level, a critical price level, technical price level highlighted on the 22nd, so important to notate that. That'll come in important later. We have another trough on the 23rd when a rally along a diagonal trend line fails, and we have a fast sudden move higher marking the end of the rally, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. We have the 24th off for Thanksgiving. The 25th is a half day. We should see some like fluctuation in the market there, and I guess it would be a crest compared to the 23rd, so we'll be higher than the 23rd on the 25th. On the 28th, we have some sideways fluctuations with a bullish trend that precedes a decline. We attempt to establish support on the 29th with some sideways rotation, and then on the 30th, there's another sharp drop, another sharp drop on the 30th. And the sneak preview card for the following month, we have a higher high in December than we did in November, there's likely some more decline before we see that move higher, based on what I'm seeing in the November. I'd have to take a closer look on the December to be sure, but that's what it's looking for, or what it's looking like right now. Guys, do me a favor, or do the channel a solid, and if you haven't followed, please follow this channel. Really helps out the channel. We're looking to get to 1,000 members so we can start monetizing with YouTube. And then also, let me know what you think. Let me know your reactions. Let me know if you want to see other stuff. Most importantly, guys, if you're new to this, you're new to Tarot for Traders, it's really important that you understand there's a karmic law here. This is free information that's worth millions, if not billions of dollars to the right individual. It's free to you from the universe. The universe expects you to pay a little bit of that forward to keep the flow going, pay a little bit of that backwards to keep the channel going, and then make sure whatever you spend that money, you're spending it out of love. As long as you spend it out of love, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.